Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to look at the Anbernic RG28XX, specifically the Suspend and Hibernate features of this handheld using the stock firmware. So this is the firmware version that I've got on here right now, which I believe is, at least at the time of recording this video, the latest firmware that Anbernic updates. If you're not sure how to get or where to get the firmware, I do have a video up on the channel in the Anbernic RG28XX category that is a little tutorial on how to update and install newer firmware if your device is a little older than this one. So let's take a look at the various Suspend and Hibernate options on the RG28XX. And the reason for this video is Anbernic doesn't actually make this stuff really easy to find. So let's take a look at how to enable and how the Suspend mode on the RG28XX works. So to access this function, or at least to set it up, you need to go to the App Center, which is this little play looking button right here. Yeah, and let's select that and go to Apps, and we select the first main firmware card, at least, because that's where all the settings apps are. And what we want to go down to is the option that says Game Shutdown. So you can kind of see it right there. And I'm going to select that, and it will load for a second. And the Suspend and Hibernate's controlled by something that Anbernic likes to call Quick Shutdown. To just get this to do a kind of a quick suspend, what you actually want to do is disable Quick Shutdown. So I'm going to hit A and disable Quick Shutdown. And you'll see a notification here. Now let's see what this actually does. So we have to wait a second for the handheld to get back to the main screen. But I'm going to load up a game real quick. So let's go back to find a game here. We'll just do something simple, maybe Neo Geo Pocket Color. Load up some Sonic the Hedgehog. So this is what the Suspend mode will do. So as you can see, I've got part of the way into this. Oh yeah, A and B are reversed on the Pocket Color. So if I go to start a game and I hit the power button now, then of course what will happen is the handheld goes dark, and you may be able to see it. The green light up here is on and the display is off, so the handheld's in kind of suspend mode right now. And unfortunately, the bad thing about this is it does drain a whole lot of battery, but when you hit the power button again, it turns right back on, right into the game that you were playing. So it's very convenient, very quick, but this is not something that you want to leave the handheld on for any particular length of time, just because it will drain your battery pretty rapidly. So to sum up the Suspend mode of the RG28XX, here's how to do it. To put it in, to activate the Suspend mode, go to the App Center menu, select Apps, select the first flashcard, select Quick Shutdown, and make sure to turn it off. So if you do that, the RG28XX will do exactly what I just showed you. It will just go into a slightly lower power mode, and unfortunately you would not want to leave it like this overnight, because you'd probably come back and your battery would be completely dead. So this is good for leaving the handheld unattended for like 20 minutes or so. But there is another thing that you can do here, and I'm going to call this hibernation, even though Anbernic themselves, it goes by a different name, but the way this works is pretty much like the Hibernate function on a laptop. So let me get out of this. And to enable the hibernation here in the stock firmware, what it basically does is it creates a save state, shuts the handheld down, and then kind of quick boots and boots you right back into the game that you were playing. So just to show you how that works, we go back to the App Center menu again. Go to Apps, and then go down to Quick Shut Off. So we're going back to where we were before, and instead of disable this time, we want to enable Quick Shutdown. Quick Shutdown is actually what Anbernic has named the Hibernate mode, so go figure. That's why these people don't know how this handheld works, because the options are all weirdly named. Now, if you enable Quick Shutdown, aka Hibernate, you'll get another choice that says, what do I do if the handheld is in the menu screen and it would normally lock? So what I do to save batteries, I put it on shutdown, but it actually doesn't matter which of these two options you select in terms of getting Hibernate to work. So I'm just going to select shutdown. Like I said, it doesn't matter. So of course we're going to go back to the main menu again. Takes a minute. So let's go start up another game. We'll just start up Sonic again. So we'll let it load here. Just start a game so we can see what it actually does. And what I will do is I will basically just hit the power button. And when I hit the power button, the handheld, you probably can't hear it on the video, it actually vibrates a little bit. And what it's doing now is it just created a save state for this game. And you'll notice here the light's not on. It's actually shut the handheld down, so you can actually leave it like this overnight and not have to worry about your battery draining. Now, what will happen is when you start it up, now starting it up, you can't just tap on the button. You actually have to do it like you're powering it up from shutdown, which is, well, what it is. So I will hold this for a few seconds. And I think I held it long enough. Yep, it's turning on now. So it's like you're just turning it on here. It's booting up. And what will happen differently this time is instead of going into the menu, this takes a minute. It will go right back into the game, and you're basically right where you left off. So this is at least somewhat convenient, particularly if you're going to have a game that you want to leave powered down, say, overnight. Now, this mode here, you get to pretty much the same way you get to the other mode. Go to the App Center, select Apps, select the first flashcard, select that quick shutdown option, and then instead of turning it off, you will just turn it on this time. And once you turn it on, then excuse me, then the handheld will work just like it works in this video here. Now, there are some disadvantages to the Hibernate mode, and the main disadvantage really is there is boot time. It does save a lot of battery, but it does take longer to boot up. But there are a few things that you have to know here is, at least on the RG28XX, this does not work when you're playing PlayStation Portable, Nintendo 64, or Dreamcast games, mainly because the power button in those games actually switches the control here from analog to digital mode. So everything else, the power button actually affects the power. But for those three systems at least that have an analog stick, the power just switches to D-pad mode. So there is no way to get to this Hibernate mode if you're playing that kind of game. Basically, you just have to save and quit and then power down the handheld as usual. Now, the Anbernic just released the RG35XX SP, which may actually work a little bit better with this because there is actually another kind of button by shutting the lid that will let you put the handheld into sleep mode. I don't have an RG35XX SP, so if somebody knows whether the Hibernate mode actually works on PlayStation Portable, N64, and Dreamcast games, please let me know in the comments. So I hope you kind of enjoyed this little tour and explanation of how to get to this Hibernate mode and how to use it for the RG28XX. I'm assuming the other XX handhelds, except for maybe the very first one, will work pretty much the same way. But RG28XX is what I have, so it's what I made the video with. Hope you enjoyed the video. And again, if you know about the RG35XX SP and if it actually works doing this with PlayStation Portable, N64, or Dreamcast, please let me know, because I would like to know myself. And if you have any other comments, please leave a comment. If you like this video, like, subscribe to the channel for more, and I will see you next video.